As we are now halfway through the fourth week of Lent, considered the halfway week of the season of Lent, we have just a couple weeks before we get to Passion Sunday, Palm Sunday, and Holy Week. I'd like just to take a minute to encourage the people who watch these videos, to thank them for walking with me in these days, but also now to look forward to what we are about to celebrate in the weeks ahead, which is the great triumph of Christ in His Paschal mystery as we approach our High Holy Days. Not just Easter Sunday, not just Palm Sunday, but the celebrations of Holy Week themselves, the celebrations of the Mass of the Lord's Supper on Holy Thursday, the Liturgy of the Lord's Passion on Good Friday, the Easter Vigil on Holy Saturday, and, of course, the celebration of Easter on Sunday. Our highest point of the liturgical year is the Easter Triduum of Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and the Easter Vigil. But it is interesting that those days are not obligatory. They are not holy days of obligation. Because the Church wants us to be pure in our intentions in going to these high holy days, not because we have to, but because we see the true value of celebrating these great mysteries on these days. And so I would encourage you to really consider taking time in a couple of weeks to go and celebrate the Mass of the Lord's Supper on Holy Thursday and spending time at the altar of repose afterwards, pondering those final moments that Jesus spent with His disciples, perhaps even reading from the Gospel of John, from the washing of the feet up to the arrest of Jesus, which is where the Gospel will pick up on Good Friday, and reading that passage of the Gospel of John in front of the Blessed Sacrament after the Holy Thursday Mass. To take time on Friday to celebrate the Liturgy of the Lord's Passion, and then even taking time on Holy Saturday, perhaps even with your family, with your children, to introduce them to this great celebration of the Easter Vigil. I like to remind people that Easter Vigil is not something in which we say, hey, let's go to the Easter Vigil and then catch a movie afterwards, or let's go to the Easter Vigil and then catch dinner. The Easter Vigil is something you make a night of. It will take a while, especially if there are people who are brought into the faith through the RCIA. We have those rites of baptism and confirmation during the Easter Vigil. Some churches don't, and they just have the straight vigil, perhaps with the multiplicity of readings, the blessing of the holy water, the renewal of baptismal promises, and then going right into the celebration of the Eucharist. But whatever form those days take in your parishes, do consider committing yourself to these holy days and joining the Church throughout the world in its highest holy days of the year, not just simply on Easter Sunday, but the Holy Triduum itself, introducing that to your children, making that a part of your family's experience of these final days of Lent leading into the great holy day of Easter Sunday and the 50 days of the Easter season. And so give that prayerful consideration to really commit to those days to celebrate our highest holy days, not because we have to as a matter of obligation, but because we see the value of it as people of faith in joining the Church throughout the world in celebrating the triumph of Christ in His Paschal mystery, encompassed in the celebration of the Holy Thursday Mass of the Lord's Supper, the Good Friday Liturgy of the Lord's Passion, and Holy Saturday's highest celebration, the Easter Vigil.